Richard from East Downtown has a question about bungalow insulation.
He does. They're remodeling this beauty, this 1925 bungalow.
Oh, I like it.
Isn't that classic?
Yeah.
It's a great... if I had to do over again, we would have bought one of those in the Heights a long time ago. He says it's brick veneer, a pier and beam with shiplap walls, and we're planning to replace the sheetrock, all the sheetrock in the house and the floors, but not remove the shiplap, which I remember you saying, do not do that because it holds the house up, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. My question, he says, it revolves around proper insulation, if at all, of the floors and the walls. I mean, if he's going to insulate the walls or the floors, he's not even sure he wants to do that. But for the attic, he's planning on R13 bats across between the joists, and then he's going to go over the top of that with R38 because he says, I'm not a fan of blown in and I'm a belts and suspender kind of guy. So Richard wants your advice, Tom. Is this the way to go, and is he risking sealing the house too tight?
Okay, let's start with the floor. Don't insulate the floor. That house is so old, and the reason it is, it has to breathe a lot. You put insulation down there, and you can cause more problems than good. And there's no heat gain on the floor, so nix the floor. Walls, let's talk about that a minute. With those old homes, you have siding, you have shiplap, you have an airspace, you have shiplap, and now you're going to have drywall. Don't worry about putting anything inside the wall because all those things add up to almost what you want anyway. So it's still got some insulative qualities. Your windows, I don't know what you want to do with those. If you want to keep the old ones, that's fine. But that's probably the biggest culprit of getting heat coming in and heat going out in the wintertime will be your windows. So you'll have to look at those. Attic, yes, radiant barrier. And you can do the insulation the way you want, but no facing. If you're going to get an R13, it's going to have paper backing on it. You've got to rip the paper backing off. Okay,
rip it off or just do the...
No, with this case, because it's in the attic and everything's laying on top,
okay,
the paper will rip right off.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so just rip the paper off, let the insulation go in there. If you want to put an R38 across the top, that's perfectly fine with me. I have no problem with that.
It's not too much?
It's more than you need.
Okay.
But I would do this. I would do the R13 and I would use an unfaced R25, which is on, you can buy off the shelf.
Okay.
And then you've got exactly what you need with the radiant barrier. And if you have some attic ventilation, those old homes usually did. So you're going to be in good shape, and just take care of the attic area and you'll be in a real good shape. And you look at that old home, there's a lot of roof proportionate to the walls. That means that big hat on there with all that insulation and radiant barrier is going to do a lot of good for you.
I'm more intrigued by his opposition to blown in. Seems like blown in would be a whole lot easier.
I would do blown in, but I'm not sure with the belts and suspender with doing blow in.
He's doing the two. He says his belts and suspenders is what he's saying.
Okay, well, that's all fine, but you don't really need to, and it's going to cost you more money unless you're doing it yourself, because if you're going to roll it out yourself, that's different. That's a real belt and suspender.
The one thing he didn't mention was the radiant barrier that you added, that he should probably do that before he puts anything up there.
I would, because it's easier to walk around up there to see what's going on. So I would definitely spray a radiant barrier and then the insulation, but you can do it both ways like that. That's okay. Well, just unfaced.
Congratulations on beautiful house. All right, you got a question? Go ahead and send it to us at HomeShowRadio.com. We'll post your answer just like these videos. Subscribe to our channel, click the bell,
Ding.
and we'll ring yours when we post a new one.